I have some unfinished business to attend to. Namely, I want to complete that parachute contract before we update. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Kerbal Space Program. Now, to be honest, I am actually doing this as post-commentary. Unfortunately, my microphone stopped working. Well, okay, I forgot to turn it on. It's different when you're not using a headset. So, yeah, you actually have to turn the microphone on. But anyway, I am doing this as post-commentary, so this is a new experience for me. We get right into our game, because we have no time to waste. Using the new parts that we have, we are going to construct a rocket. So we use a standard command module that we've been using for everything else, but I realize that we don't... Yeah, see that thing? Yeah, we don't have enough power to lift 21.75 mass. Like, we're having difficulty doing anything else. So what I realize is we are not using that to go anywhere. So we're gonna have to use something else to get more speed, because we do need more power. We need more power if we want to actually get back with, sufficient speed to test this parachute. So what I decide is we're going to use the skipper engine, and unfortunately we have no structural components that I can use to attach the larger fuel tanks to this. And then we also only have the quarter-sized tank as our smallest one, not the 8th sized tank that I would have wanted, so that way we have a better thrust-to-mass ratio. But yeah, you gotta work with what you got. So we have nothing correct to structurally attach this, so I just do it anyway. And at first, yeah, I'm debating right now, and I decide to just go with it. Now, at first, I do forget something kind of important. The parachute that we're testing, we found out it's really, really good. It's probably not good enough to get all that weight. So we're gonna add a decoupler, if I can find out where it belongs. I do that a lot. I'll just click through the tabs without realizing where stuff goes. I also forgot I wanted an SAS module. And I find it kind of funny. It's just I'll just flip through the tabs and be like, where is it, where is it, where is it? Even though I've played this game plenty. We need struts since we don't have structural components, and anyway, even if we had them, I would be adding struts because you need them if you don't want your rockets to fall apart. So then I think about how are we going to do this lifting stage, and I realize that since we don't have any of the big decouplers or anything, we can't really build the rocket downwards. So we're going to have to build it outwards. At first, I think about using these radial decouplers, but then I realized that, yeah, if I try to do this, yeah, that's all we're going to get. There's no way I can... I mean, those things will lift us really high, but we don't need height, we need speed, as we found out before. So, and that's not going to really give us enough control. So instead of that, we need a full multi-stage rocket if we want to have this thing work. I do remember the separatrons, because we don't want to forget those. That would be bad, as we found out previously. And then I go searching here, trying to find the parachutes, so we can have the emergency parachutes. And I know they're under utility. If you ask me where they are, I will tell you they are under utility. But I can't ever seem to find stuff. So, yeah, the idea of this rocket is I'm going to build it outwards, and then we're going to have the, whatchamacallit? We're going to have the moderate-sized fuel tanks with the LV-45 gimbaling engines on the bottom of those, and then we're going to have solid fuel booster on the outside, and that's kind of the idea of this. I realize we don't have fuel lines yet, so I actually can't do proper asparagus staging as much as I would like to do that. I think that's got to be our next goal, is getting enough science to get the fuel line so I can do actual asparagus staging and setting these rockets up. Yeah, I decided to go with 6 instead of 4 or 3 because we have enough room on the outside of this that we can do 6 and it'll still have appropriate spacing so our rocket doesn't crash together and explode when we decouple stuff. And then, I don't know what I'm doing here. Just put it on. There we go. I don't know what I'm doing. In both, I don't know what I'm doing here, like, while I'm watching this post-commentary, and I don't know what I'm doing in general as far as this game is concerned. I say I do. Alright, so this is what we finally end up building. And I looked through our contracts, and I realized that, given the contracts we've got, it's going to be kind of difficult to do any of those, with the exception of the stacked decoupler one. So that one, obviously, is the most difficult to do, as we've found out through our trying to do it. But the stacked decoupler one seems fairly doable because we're going to be going the correct speed and whatnot. So I do plan on doing that. And, well, at first, try to put it on the parachute. That's not a thing. So, yep, bring it back down there. There we go. Now try to think of what to name this rocket. And the name that I come up with is 8th rocket, 7th rocket, do or do not. There is no try. There's no trying, there's only doing, and we're going to use Bob to do the things. So we are not trying on this mission, we are doing. So, let us do this. And we just go to Launchpad, SAS on, and just do. There we go. I don't quite have the timing down on this. Okay. So yeah, we're taking off. Speed's pretty good. Bob, nervous, so everything's going well. And, yeah, this thing, it's not the craziest thing I've built while we've been doing this. It's a thing. It's different from the other rockets that we built in that it's built outwards instead of upwards mostly. A lot of the other rockets we've been building have been about the height, which actually turned out to be a problem, as we found out when I realized that the rocket equation is important. Not just about building. Isn't that a wonderful camera angle? I need to do that more. I need to try to find ways to make the camera angle. And yeah, after doing that, I'm like, what can I do this? Does this look cool? It's just like seizure-inducing strobe lights. That's not very cool. So we begin our gravity turn, and I realize we forgot to do that one. Completely forgot it. It never even crossed my mind. I was so busy messing around with camera angles and everything else, and I forgot to stage that. So that made me look stupid. So yeah, we actually come out to this view because I realized that this view, there's a reason that they say on the wiki you should use this view for going to orbit and stuff, because it's better to do it this way. I know it's more cinematic to do it the other way, and I mean, when I'm playing the game by myself, I'll try to stay in that other view as much as possible, just because I prefer watching the rocket go to space as opposed to just watching a line move on a screen. But this view, I need it in this case, because I need to get this thing as close to orbit as possible. And we run out of fuel when that thing hits about 72, which means we'll probably make it into orbit. Oh, not orbit. We'll probably make it into space. We definitely won't make it into orbit. Because I'm not gonna burn the fuel of the. Oh, I get nervous that those things are gonna hit. I know they don't hit. That's the thing. I know they don't hit. I'm doing this as post commentary, and yet I still got nervous that they were gonna hit. But anyway, so yeah, I think for a minute, can we like be going the right speed when we come in? I'm like, no, we need to be going way faster than that by those altitudes. So nope, can't do that. So we need to fire the skipper engine And I debate for a long time about like when do I fire it? I'm like throttling up and down here, being like, oh, should I start it like no throttle and then throttle up? Should I like start at full throttle? I don't know, because I've tried everything. Like this is crazy. I've tried so many different kinds of rockets. I've tried solid boosters. I've tried coming straight up and going straight back down. I've tried making it into like a pseudo orbit and then firing down, firing radially, firing toward prograde. I've used basically every different kind of rocket that we have, and nothing works. Like, this is so crazy that it's all about doing this contract that's worth 280 something credits or whatever. It's like, I don't know. If anybody knows what the unit of currency is, please do let me know, because I don't know what that symbol means. I've never seen it before. Alright, we do make it into space, though, which is excellent. Music is great. And then I realized I didn't put any science modules on this, so I can't do goo, I can't really do anything because we've already done the EVA and crew reports. So now I realize that I need to figure out, I need to do a quick test. So I realize that it's, whatchamacallit, we use 16 units of fuel per second. And that is, then I have to do the math. It takes me a while to realize that it's about 20 seconds. I'm like, because I'm doing so many things at once. I'm like, oh crap, math. Have to do math. And yeah, I realize we have about 20 seconds of burn time on that. So that means that we have plenty of time for that to burn. The skippers are pretty fuel efficient, so we have plenty of time to burn. We just need to start burning the second that our speed starts slowing down. That's what I decide on doing anyway. Because I'm like, do we like fire sooner? Do we fire later? But like, do we save stuff? I'm just like, because I want our thrust to mass ratio to be as high as possible when we get down to the lower part of the atmosphere. So yeah, Bob is now happy. It's like, he's nervous as we're like going up to space, but when we're about to come back down, firing the rocket downward, he's like, yay, this is cool. Because he doesn't know what's about to happen. None of these, if any of these Kerbals knew what the mission, except for Jebediah, he was happy to take the mission. I told him exactly what was going to happen. He was like, sign me up. Everybody else, I had to tell them that they were just testing a parachute. I didn't tell them exactly what they were going to be doing, because they wouldn't have gone on the mission if I had told them. So yeah. Alright, I realize we're still, we have just begun to slow down. Here come the atmospheric effects. But now we're building speed while I'm firing that rocket, which is good, because every time that I've done this before, we've started losing speed. But now we're losing speed. We're still losing speed. And we're still losing speed. Mach effects. Still losing speed. We're in the speed range, but we're not in the altitude range. Can we get down low enough while we're still going fast enough? We're about to drop below 500. We did it! I was freaking out. We did it. Like, when I actually was recording this, I freaked out. I just started whooping and screaming. It probably, I don't know, if the microphone hadn't been on, I probably would have damaged it with how much noise I made. We did it! We did it! We finally did this stupid parachute contract. The parachute works, of course. Bob is now nervous because he's like, oh gosh, what were you doing? But we did it. We did it, finally. And I was not going to let the fact that I didn't turn the microphone on ruin this moment. It's like, this is so awesome. I was so happy, and I am so happy. I'm so happy to have this done so we can update. I was, like, before this episode, I was like, oh, should we just update anyway? Like, the SAS module doesn't matter. Should we just update and, then do other missions and whatnot and come back to this or something? Yeah, I see if firing the other parachutes will make Bob calm down a bit. I go inside this view because I never do that. Stars are glorious. It's so nice to have this contract done. We're coming down lower, and there's the altimeter. getting down to like 75 meters or whatever. But we did the contract, finally. So I switched back out to this view as we splash down. And yeah, the mouse is shaking there, not because I'm trying to show you guys everything, just because I'm shaking. Like, we did it. Like, I'm freaking out. We did it. We actually did do this. I'm still kind of freaking out about it, because I didn't want to, like, hint at anything earlier in the post commentary. Yeah, here are our rewards. We got 0.2 science. We only got 80-something percent, 83% back. And we only got like 3 reputation. But we did. It was do or do not, there is no try, and we did do. See, I go up there and look there. There is our contract. Test complete. We got some good data here. We got lots of data. We had to test that thing so many times. That's it. 258. And then 21 reputation. Didn't even move the bar. But I don't care. Yeah, we have no science either, but that's fine. So yeah, at this point, I'm not even really saying anything here. I just like start like moving the camera around because I'm just freaking out. I'm like, oh, what do we do? What do we do? Like this, like, what do we do? What do we do? And yeah, and I'm fine with letting this be a short episode and leaving this off here. I plan on updating next. We have like no money to start the next career mode segment in the next version, but that's fine. We did it.